Oh yeah, welcome back to the King Mexico podcast. And this time around, present yourself, gentlemen. Let them know who you are. We were here before, but just refresher. Let them know.
What's up, man? My name is Eric Herrera, otherwise known as Duvalinpapi. On Instagram is Duvalinpapi2.0. And last time we talked about some depressing shit happening at the border, but we're going to keep it a little bit lighter today. Uh, Talk about some other things that aren't so, won't get people too cheered up or anything like that.
Word. After that episode, we're gonna make sure that this one, y'all gonna be happy. You're gonna laugh and stuff. It's gonna be a whole different one. Yo, the last one, like I said, is something that everybody needed to hear. Everybody needed to hear what's really going on in the border and what's happening in our backyard with so many things that just have to deal with the borderline and people coming in. If you want to listen to that, please listen to the last episode we had. It's
Facts.
episode, yeah. So it's still on. It's the latest one. It's episode. I'll tell you right now, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty bad.
I'm going to take a bite out of my North Korean burrito.
Oh, yeah. That North Korean burrito. If y'all don't know, and y'all haven't heard, what was it? Kim Jong-un, right?
Yeah, Kim Jong-un or his dad, Kim Jong-il. I guess they
Yeah.
invented the burrito back in 2010, 2011.
Yo, I would
Whatever
like
you
to
guys were
know.
eating before that, it was probably
Who
like
knows?
who knows, man.
Who knows?
The
But here
secret
it is.
secret item.
It was Shipment 87, all right?
All right.
So everybody, yeah, going back, yo, I can't believe that my man really said that they invented the burrito. Like,
He
yo,
changed the world, man.
he changed the world, bro.
He changed the world. He kept it under wraps for so long.
But do you think they do birria or no birria burritos?
I don't know, man. Like I was telling someone, like when I read that, I was like, a burrito probably has more meat inside of it than a Korean gets like in half a year over.
In a lifetime, bro.
In a lifetime, probably, huh?
Yeah, man.
Like,
Cause
yo, you make this shit last until you're 15, boy.
word, either you make a laugh. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even think that the citizens are worth in his eyes to eat burritos and stuff. Because I was looking at a documentary when it comes
No,
down
not
to
for
like
them.
rich Koreans, they party, bro. They like have internet, like
Oh hell yeah.
everything, like general kids, and they have like full access to import goods and they smuggle shit in too, which is crazy.
I remember a long, long time ago. This was when Kim Jong Un was still alive. That that cognac, like that real expensive
Mm-hmm.
one. That for the long, I don't know for how long, but it was like a long time. That in the entire world, he was the number one customer. He would buy the most for like I don't know how many years.
Damn. Hold on top of that shit. Did you hear about them hacking into what was it, the World Bank? I mean India's or Bangladesh bank that they hacked into and they tried to steal over what, $1 million or $1 billion, I think it was.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, bro. So they have like these Korean hackers. So when you're young, they recruit you, and all you do is train to be a hacker, like hack, 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 right? And now they've developed a fucking unit, a hacker unit that's been disturbing, like been putting in companies on ransom. They did the Sony. Remember when that movie came out? What was it? With Seth Rogen and James Franco? I forgot.
Oh, okay. That kind of rings a bell. Yeah, yo, that's kind of badass though. That they're like they they get these kids and you're like, yo, you know what? We're gonna make you like a world class fucking like computer genius. You know, you're gonna be able to hack into anything. And over here, we just like teach the kids like how to like, hey, you want to be a YouTuber?
You want a TikTok?
You want a TikTok? It's like, people in other countries are like, oh hell no, man, we're gonna make something out of you.
Word. It's like, yo, we're gonna put you in, you're gonna hack, and all you're gonna do is that. And on top of that shit, even China fucks with us, bro. Like when it comes down to TikTok, if you're a certain age, you can't use TikTok over a certain amount of hours, and your
Oh yeah, I
feed,
think they cut it off like after 10 p.m. over there.
yeah,
And like if you're a kid, like they don't like on the Chinese TikTok, all the kids, everything they watch is like how to be an astronaut, like science, like how to do like useful shit to like elevate and like advance their society. And over here is just kids dancing, kids putting on makeup. They're like a bunch of weird shit over here. So like yeah, we're like the laughing stock of the world.
yo, it's crazy, and they've caught up to us. You know what I mean? Like all this technology has really, they're like, you know what? Give it to them. It should, and they're not gonna edit each other out. They're not gonna filter each other. They're just gonna go in and hey, it's a good and bad thing because look at China, bro. If you keep on showing your people this, right? The youth, like, oh, you could progress, you could progress. You're basically opening the door to achievements. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I want to be
Yeah,
that. I want to be that.
yeah,
Instead of I want to
exactly.
dance and
And over here we
sing.
got all the kids get to watch over here is like in Kim Kardashian, SNL. It's just like yo, I want to be a retard.
Yeah, running around talking about we depressed and shit.
Yeah, we're depressed, and China's already got a fake sun that they developed.
Yo,
That was wild, Joe.
17 minutes in the air, bro. 17 minutes in the atmosphere. They were able to have a working sun. But here's the thing, right? So if the ozone layer, right? That's what it's called. It protects us from the UV rays from the sun, correct? And
Yeah,
this is an artificial sun, which was what a whole lot times, and they said more powerful than the sun that they created. So what would that do? Is
I wonder.
inside the
I wonder
ozone.
how that didn't burn some people alive.
That's what I mean. It was that hot. They said it was, extra. It was more hot than the real sun. So I'm like, how? How didn't it have no effect on like people's phones and stuff? Good question.
Yeah, yeah, because it gets hot over here in California. The day it's like 120. You're like, fuck, man, I don't want to go outside. Just imagine you're
120?
like in the desert. Yeah, it gets like 120. So like I don't even know what that's like. Like you're in China and they're like, all right, guys, we're gonna test the fake sun now. Get your phones out. Everyone's just no one got a tan.
Yo, 100 and I mean 120, bro. That's
That's hot,
insane.
dude. That's hot.
I didn't know they got that hot in LA. I know Arizona, Texas, New
Like
Mexico.
not like in the city of it, but like if you go inland, like in the deserts, it
Mm-hmm.
can get like 120 in the summers.
Damn, that's hot, bro. That is hot. And how's the weather been out there now that because right now with us, we're like looking anywhere between predictions is from 3 inches to 15 inches of snow on
Oh
Saturday.
damn. The closest area here in San Diego, it's like 45 minutes an hour from where I live. And that's like the only place in San Diego where it snows. Um, but right now it's like California cold over here. It's like 40 degrees at the coldest. It gets like high 70s during the day. So right now it's like cold in California. What we consider cold, like sweater weather.
40 degrees?
But yeah, at nighttime. But I know you guys out there got like below. You guys get that below
Yeah.
zero. You guys get like inches of snow.
Yeah, like right now it's probably like what, like 20 degrees outside.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's funny, right? Because like today I was like, I did laundry and I'm bringing up the bags and shit. And I just got out my car with a regular sweater and shit, and I'm running back and forth. And then I thought about, I'm like, yo, I'm walling right now. It's pretty fucking cold. And I'm just running in a beanie and my sweater up and down. And then afterwards, right, when I got home and I went back out, I had a head cold. And I realized that me coming in and out the cold and shit fucked up. I like literally a head cold, bro. It was like I had to take 2 pills and shit to that shit go away because I'm like, yo, that shit was crazy. Because normally I let it rock. I'm like, fuck, I get the headache. I don't need to take nothing. But this time, bro, shit. So if you coming out here, man, you got 20-degree weather, don't do that shit. Don't work out and then go outside with that hot because you're gonna be sweating and that fucking cold hits your brain. It feels like a frostbite. I mean, a brain freeze. A brain freeze.
Okay.
So brain freeze lasting over an hour, bro.
That's fucked up. I think like the coldest, like it was like some while ago, like probably like more than 10 years ago. But my dad, my brother, myself, and like 2 other people, we went to the Grand Canyon, and like our plan was to be there for like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
But we didn't look at the weather or anything like that when we got out there. So when we got out there, it was like snowing. It had just snowed, so the Grand Canyon was all covered in snow, and we just brought like 2 tents, like some Mexican blankets, shit like that. And man, that was like at nighttime, like we were like all shivering. Like I was like shaking throughout the whole night. Like I couldn't sleep. That's how cold I was. And my brother and one of my friends, they slept in the car. So every half an hour, you would hear the car turn on because they turn on the heater. Uh, and I remember we bought a gallon of water and we left the gallon of water outside. And the next morning, the gallon of water was frozen solid.
Damn. So
So we woke up and we're like, okay, yeah, we're getting the fuck out of here today. We're gonna go for a hike, but we're out of here.
yo, but the Grand Canyon, bro, I've been out there. It looks fake. Like when you take photos, it looks like a background shot.
It's trippy, right? Like when you see it in
Yeah.
person, like everyone says, like kind of like I never like really understood it until you actually got there because everyone's like, no, you got to see it in person. You got to see it in person. The pictures don't really mean anything. And then when I got there and we were hiking and you look down, I was just like, man, that's fucking deep, yo.
Even driving, the drive over there was crazy because I know we drove from LA all the way over there and the Arizona side. Yo, that fucking drive was crazy. I think it was like an 8-hour drive, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, damn,
Oh,
bro. But it was worth it. And then the funny shit is when we got there, it was 30 minutes and the park was about to close. So
oh
we got our
shit.
shots and we basically got back on and then fucking started hiking back to the west. So I was like, but it was worth it. Like I said, like you said, it's a scenic route. I mean, the scenic site you have to see. Like even
Yeah.
being there, it's just trippy. You feel like you're in the Matrix. It's like, yo, is this really fucking real and shit? Because you're like, yo, it just looks like a backdrop.
Yeah, it does. I remember when we were hiking, we were still kind of like near the edge, but like at the bottom of where you could see the river, I guess there were some people. They were going like on the rafts, like on that crazy water,
Yeah.
and the rafts they were like smaller than like the. Hold on a second.
All right, cool. We
I
got
was just getting a call out of
technicals.
nowhere. I was getting a call for some reason. You can see the rafts, and they were like a grain of sand. Just like it looked like they were just going down the river.
Just to believe all that is in our backyard. You know what I mean? And before growing up, right? And people be like, oh, I'm gonna go to a certain state. I'm like, bro, like, why? Like, all right, so for me, that's the equivalence. All right, so you from LA, that'll be like going to damn, what's the city that's close by to you? Like going to San Francisco. People like, oh, I'm gonna go to San Francisco. I'm like, wow, you still in the US, like you still in California. Like, where the fuck you
Yeah, you
going?
still in California. That's
But
I did that once with some friends. We went on a road trip and we drove from San Diego all the way to San Francisco in one night or one day. And even like when you pass San Francisco, you still got like some hours before you're out of California. And I think it took us like 7 or 8 hours to get to San Francisco. And the whole like halfway in, I was like, man, I can't believe we're still in fucking California. Like this shit, obviously it's not wide, but like it's fucking long. Like it's fucking like it's a drive.
Yeah, bro. It's trippy, you know what I mean? And just now, like as I gotten older and I got kids and shit, I'm like, yo, I need to travel the US. Like this whole time I've been on this country and stuff. I've always shitted to go to vacations and within the US, you know what I mean? Cause I'm like, I
Mhm.
just thought about it like, yo, why the fuck am I gonna go where I live at? I need to travel around the world. And I don't gotta get stuck in here. But now as I get older and I see how the whole like everybody's acting funny, I don't want to be an American. I hate America. I'm like, nah, fuck that shit. Like I need to embed this shit to my kids. Like, yo, you're an American at the end of the day. Like, yeah, we different nationalities and shit, but at the end of the day, we all salute this damn flag. You know what I mean? Like the whole Pledge of
Yeah,
Allegiance, getting out the schools and shit. I'm like, no, that patriotism needs to come back. When we were number one, like growing up, right? It felt different. Like when you said I'm an American, like it hold weight. It held weight. You know what I mean? Like you used
yeah,
to pop your chest. Like when you heard that born in the USA, like that shit hit different. You know what I mean? Like that shit
yeah,
hit different. Or when you watch Apollo Creed and Rocky and you see living in America, it hit different. Like you fucking popped your chest. Now you can't even put a flag behind you that has an American color because people are like, oh, that's a Trumpster.
yeah. Or this guy's a fucking racist because he's got an
Yeah.
American because he's got the flag of his country in the back of it, in his own country.
And there's even people who you grow up with who'll be like, oh, I find it offensive you have an American flag. I'm like, bro, where the fuck do you live in?
Right? It's like imagine working at McDonald's and then like one of your coworkers says like, "Man, fuck McDonald's. Tomorrow I'm gonna show up with the Burger King uniform."
But you work in the McDonald's, right?
Yeah, but you're working at McDonald's, but then everyone's like, "Yo, what the hell's this?" It's like, "Fucking hate McDonald's, yo. I work here, but fuck McDonald's. I want to wear a Burger King uniform from
I'm gonna
now
go to
on."
work. Yeah, I'm gonna wear a Burger King, I'm gonna wear Wendy's and shit.
I'm
But
gonna
it's
wear a
true.
Target uniform at Walmart.
How about you, bro? Do you feel like kind of the same way about that too, or do you feel something different when it comes down to
No,
that?
man. No, man. I agree with you. Like I remember like even with movies back in the day, there was like American Ninja. Uh, that was a badass movie. Uh, yeah, like Rocky. Um, and if it wasn't like a movie at sports events, like they would. It was just like everyone would like do the national anthem. It was just different. Like everyone, it didn't matter if they were like iffy about America back then. Everyone was just like, okay, you know what? Fuck it, I'm on Team America. At least for this fucking Super Bowl, I'm all in America. And now it's just like, maybe we cannot do that anymore, or this time. Uh, Maybe we can do
Yo,
the national anthem, but we won't show the flag. Or if we show the
word.
flag, we won't do the national anthem. It's like, man, what the fuck is going on? You go, I when I go to Mexico, man, and no one over there does that.
No,
Everyone's just like fucking flags everywhere. Everyone's proud to be Mexican. Um, that patriotism down there, it's like what America used to be. You know what I mean? It's like you go to Mexico and it could be like the poorest motherfucker over there. And he's just like, fuck it, man. Mexico's number one. Mexico, like Mexican soccer team, all the fucking way till I die. I don't give a fuck.
even if they lose,
Even if they lose, yo, I'm ride or die.
right or die, don't matter, B. It don't
Yeah.
matter if our squad is there's no longer top 10. We don't care. We still number one. But that's the same feeling I'm trying to show. Like I always bring up this topic, right? Like when I jump on somebody else's podcast, I always tell them like, yo, that feeling of being an American, bro, we need that shit back. We need people to remember that, not be ashamed to be like, oh, I'm American. There was a time when we used to go to different countries and people would bow their head to us. Now it's like you can't now. If I travel somewhere else, I'm not even gonna front, bro. Like when I went to Europe before the whole pandemic, I was speaking Spanish. They'd be like, "Oh, where you from? Mexico." All right, because it hit different. Like when you tell somebody, it's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm American. I'm like from America."
Mm.
They'd be like, "Ugh," but I'm like, "Oh, so you're Mexico." Oh, all right.
Like, yeah, amigo, come over here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had some friends that they've been to. I haven't been to Europe, but I have some friends that they went to France, like a few of them, and then like yo over there, like in Paris, like they fucking hate anyone that's like American. Like you speak English in Paris, no one fucking talks to you. It doesn't matter if you're trying to buy something, they'll like speak French. And if you like, and even if you try to speak French, like you never spoke it before, so like your French is like fucking it's like shitty. They're like, oh man,
yeah.
fuck this guy. He's not from here. Fuck this guy. I'm just gonna give him a cold shoulder. I'm gonna tell him to ask someone else. Uh, yeah, but like you said, back then, like even probably before our time, people would go to other countries and be like, "Oh, this guy's an American, man. This guy's from the land of the free."
Hmm. Yo, do you remember? I have to bring this up before I forget. Remember, Best of the Best?
Yeah, best of the best. Yeah,
Yeah, that whole thing about Korea versus USA. That in the
that that
burrito.
that was I haven't seen that movie in so long.
Yo, then you had Best of the Best too, when it was like a street fight thing and they were fighting in Vegas. I think Best of the Best went up to like 4 with Danny Young. Danny Young was the
Mhm.
main character. Good movies, bro. Yo, back in the day had some real, like you said, awesome movies, bro. When it came down to patriotism, then you have like Van Damme, which played an American.
Yeah, he was Gaio on Street Fighter.
Best movie
He had
ever. I
the
don't give a
he had
fuck
the
what nobody
American
says.
tattoo on his arm and everything. He was a Marine, and he still had that fucking crazy accent.
But American, right? It showed you what.
Bison, I'm going to get you, Bison. Yo, this is the weirdest American I've ever seen in my fucking life.
And then Bison was what's his name? Was the Spanish actor.
Yeah, yeah, he was. I think he played
Adam's Family.
I think yeah, in Adam's Family, but I think I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think he was also he played the devil, like he played Satan in some movie, like in human form, like he was like supposed to be like the Satan, and he was just like this guy in a suit and shit like that. I forgot what it's called though. Yeah, but it was that guy. The guy from the Adam's Family was Bison.
Damn, bro. Yeah, it's like so many good movies, and it really did, hit. It hit, like I always used to say, like even growing up in school. Then we had, yo, like growing up was the best time to be an American. I think it was the golden age, because then we also had the WWF. Fuck WWE. This is
Yeah,
WWF. When I remember when I used to see the real the wildlife something federation.
yeah, they sued them, huh?
Yeah, and then they ended up WWE. But remember those days? You had Ultimate Warrior, you had old Hulkamania, that
Shawn
whole
Michaels,
Shawn Michaels,
yeah, the
Bret
original like
Hart,
time Bret Hart, the Degeneration X. Those were wild times, man. In
Nasty
wrestling,
Boys.
with Billy the Kid, or what's his name was like the Ass Man.
Yeah. Um, oh damn, what was the other guy who the narcissistic? I think it was Mr. Narcissist or something along those lines. They had Piper. Yo, so many damn. Oh, the sock. Remember sock?
Oh, Mankind. Yeah, Mick Foley,
Mankind. We had the clown,
the clown, the guy with the whole like he had the
the
mask on
clown
and
suit.
everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yo, timeless, bro.
That shit's
Timeless.
man. Everyone still knows who Hulk Hogan is. Isn't that crazy?
Undertaker.
Oh yeah, Undertaker. I saw that guy once.
Oh,
It was
word?
like when I was a kid. It was like must have been like the late '90s or something. My mom used to take us out like for outings, and like we would go to downtown San Diego. And I mean, this was like when Comic Con was still like more of like a nerdy ass like actual nerds and actual geek kind of comic book thing. But I remember my mom, like we saw a bunch of people outside of the convention center all dressed up like fucking Superman and fucking weird ass makeup. So I think my mom, she thought it was like a fucking circus or some shit like that. And it cost us at the time, I think it was like $10 to get in. And now like tickets are like $400 or some shit, 300.
Word.
And they sell out in 5 minutes. And over there you could walk up there and buy your ticket in person. And I remember we went in there. There were some people from the WWF, and I saw Undertaker, and I was just like at the time he was like the tallest person I've ever seen in my life. I was just like fucking like 4'8", like some fucking kid, little Mexican kid, and this fucking giant ass white dude, fucking long ass hair, just like looking down at me.
You got the autograph?
No, I think I just got to shake his hand. I don't
That's
think I
it?
got an autograph. Yeah.
Damn. Damn, bro. Yo, growing up, right? Like just going in general, like what was like the biggest memory you had, like when it comes down to like culture wise? That like
Culture
really,
probably like I like this is something I know because I don't got kids. I got nieces,
yeah.
and I got my cousins have kids and all that stuff. So I call them my nephews and nieces too. But like something I noticed is that like for like the past 10 years, maybe a little bit longer, like kids don't play outside like they used to. Like when I was growing up, I would go out of school, go to my house, and then I would tell my mom and my dad, "Hey, I'm gonna go hang out with Adam or whatever, at Daniel," and I would just leave. We would all go out. We fucking like go to the mall, skateboard at the park. Like we didn't really have like restrictions and supervision like kids do today. Like now, like I noticed that kids in my family, like I mean, it's just a fucking crazy world out there. You know, it's like so much crazy, especially now, like just fucking people, fucking kidnapping people more than ever, and like robbing people. Like now, like parents want to know exactly where their kid is, or like they'll go, okay, just don't go past the parking lot, or don't go across the street. But when I was a kid, it's just like you go wherever the fuck you want, man. I used to get in trouble because I used to have to call my mom to pick me up. Like, hey, can you pick me up? I'm at so and so's house, or I'm at the mall, or I missed the bus. Like, I used to take the bus a lot as a kid, and like now, like the public transport is just like all grown ups. Like
Damn.
back in the day, it was just more freedom. You know, you got to like just do kid shit, and now it's like going away now. It probably has gone away. I don't know if it's gonna come back.
I don't think it's coming back because I remember growing up, it's like, yo, I want to go outside and shit. So sometimes the only way to go outside, I'd be like, yo, I'm going to the library. So that was like
Yeah, or
my
that too.
my key right there. Like I know I'll be able to go to the library. I'm like, yo, I'm going to the library. I'll be back. I'll be out for like hours, bro. Come back home and shit. Like, oh, how was it? I'm like, it was fun. But I always had to make sure I had a library book on me. You got me? So I always
Yeah,
had
that
library
alibi.
books. Yeah, I always had check them in, check them out and shit. So yeah, it was like, nah, I'm like, I had to make sure I did go to the library. You know what I mean? Make
Yeah,
sure I had those books. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go study and shit. But like you said, bro, it's like little wild shit like that, and you fucking like hanging out in the street. Like I thought you was in the library. I'm like, oh, I'm coming back. They didn't have no books I wanted, so I'm just talking shit right now.
oh,
And they're like, all
oh
right,
that was like another thing because you mentioned library. I remember sometimes we would rent movies from the library because you know back also like in the VHS days you go to Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, which is also just fucking gone. Um, like I remember that like kind of being a deal. Like my friends, like we would all, or if it wasn't my family and us, like it would be my friends and myself, and we would go fucking rent a movie. So it'd be like an outing, but the plan was to go rent a movie and go to someone's house and watch it, or you know like that. And now like it's just a lot of people say this, and like I'm pretty sure it is what it is. It's just that everything's in your hand now. You know, social media, YouTube, Netflix is on your phone. I remember when I first found out about Netflix, people were like renting like DVDs through Netflix. Um,
the
but now it's
penny.
just like yeah, for pennies, and now it's just like there's like one blockbuster left in the whole country, and it's like a huge tourist spot. Uh, but I think it's just a lot of that shit that would keep people outside. And now it's gone. There's no reason for people to go outside or go that far or like do certain things anymore. Uh, I remember growing up and something's going to eat at Pizza Hut back in the day when Pizza Hut was like an actual restaurant. And now, you know, you don't even want to fucking eat at Pizza Hut. You just go there, pick up your pizza and leave. Or you get fucking Uber Eats or DoorDash. Like it's just like more shit that just keeps us at home.
Or and if you really see it, that's what it is training us, you know what I mean? To stay in the box.
saying about, or the pods, how they say, like you're gonna be living in a pod. Um, like you're gonna own nothing and you'll be happy. It's kind of happening right now before our eyes. Like everyone's just everything we watch isn't ours. You don't own the movie you watch on Netflix. Like we still got like all the movies we bought as a kid, like all VHS, like hundreds of them. But we own those. You can still go out and get a cheap ass VCR and watch those movies. But now it's just like people are like, well, why would I want to buy it when I can just stream it? Really, well, what if the
Word.
fucking internet goes down? You ain't gonna be watching shit.
But here's another thing that people don't know. So when you have hard copies, right, and you own the goods, that you can't get an update and they'll patch up the scenes that were deleted. Like a lot of movies that kids currently watch that we grew up on, a lot of those movies have been edited.
China just did that to Fight Club.
Oh, word?
Yeah, they changed the ending to Fight Club. I don't know exactly what they did, but I've seen it earlier this week that China
What?
changed the ending to Fight Club. But I guess it's something you can only see out there in China. Um, so like
That
now,
is
like kids in China, when if they come over here and like they meet some other kid that's like a super fanatic of like Fight Club, they're gonna be like, "Yo, what fucking movie did you watch?"
yo, yeah, it says it right here. Fight Club China changes cult classic movies, explosive ending to make it, yeah, into I guess more China. And they've done this to other movies as well. That is crazy. Yo, that's another thing, bro. Like China has risen so fast in the last what 20 years, bro, that America's literally bowing the knee. Everybody from the, from corporate all the way to like superstars are bending the knee to China. The biggest example is The Rock and fucking John Cena, bro. They got Cena speaking Mandarin and shit, apologizing like, whoa.
Yeah, like fluently. Was that? I think it was on Joe Rogan. They brought that up, and they said that I forget who was the guy on the show, but he said that Vince McMahon, the owner of WWF, uh, paid for John Cena like his lessons in Mandarin so that he could speak it fluently. So I guess when they go over there and do business or events, like they have like some of their biggest superstars speaking fluent Mandarin now. But like no one knew he spoke Mandarin until he apologized.
Word.
So he was talking. I thought it was CGI. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like I don't even know what he's saying. But he was like legit apologizing, like, "Yo, like I'm sorry. Sorry what I said about Taiwan. Taiwan ain't shit."
That's crazy though, bro. It's like, yo, we might get censored. Yo, talking about being censored, right? That now that we brought up China and being censored and demonetized, I just realized, right? Because I was in my mom's house, right? So my mom's like, yo, what the fuck you do? Because I hear you have like this thing you do, you bring people on and you have a beer one. So I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to bring it up on the TV, right? And I can't find myself at all. And the video
That's
I
fucking
did,
weird, man.
and the video I did find, I was not able to play it. I was not able to play my video. Mind you, it has an active account, no restrictions, can watch whatever the hell they want. But when it came down to my videos, they were all demonetized, every single one of them. I had to sign into my account, and then she was able to look at my videos.
That's fucking weird because I've seen your shit like on with the on my phone. I'm not signed into YouTube, but I've seen your stuff without being signed in. That's fucking crazy that you're like certain people. I guess if it's on the TV or someone else, they just won't be able to. You could probably even tell them, oh, "This is my handle on YouTube," and it won't even come up.
Yeah, because I literally looked myself up. I did everything myself, and the video was there, right? But when you hit play, it said, please sign into an active account. But I'm like, it's signed in on an active account.
That's
I was
fucking
like,
dumb, man. That's crazy.
yeah. And I've heard this before from other people. because I know I've been shadow banned before too on like Instagram. Because Instagram also times my videos now. Because before my lives were not timed. Like I could do like 3 hours and they will completely go. I can't even save my videos anymore. Because before on the lives, you'd be able to save the video
Yeah.
and then you could take it out and then take out the audio and then make a podcast out of it. But now I can't do that.
That's weird, man. That's how you like. I guess that's why there's like so many other people trying to start different social media sites, which is cool, because people see that happening like on Instagram and YouTube. I guess that the downside is that those platforms don't have the same amount of users as like YouTube. You know what I mean? Like YouTube would be like the biggest one for like video and like podcasts and all video podcasts like this. But I think people are just catching on to that finally, and for a good thing, because it's like, let's say like you interviewed someone that was fucking hyper influential, and like for like a few days you see your channel just like gaining traction and followers, and out of nowhere it's just like, oh, we're just gonna terminate your account
Yeah, you
because
know where you can see that?
because of this one guy.
You can see that
Where?
on your reels. So let's say you do a reel, right? You see your the amount of people that come on your reel compared to like your story or compared to like a post. Some reels would have more attraction towards people, and other reels it seems like they filter out, right? And another trick I learned, right? So right now we're talking, right? And the algebra for YouTube, if you say like PlayStation 5, Oculus, just saying those words, it would generate in their whole program and stuff. They'll pick up your video and they'll start showing people. I had no idea about this shit. Like you could be like iPhone 14 and shit.
That's fucking wild. There was
Word
this
or
other guy on Joe Rogan. One of the, I think it's like the 2 or 3 episodes back. This guy, last name was Epstein, kind of like that guy John Epstein, but
Epstein.
not that same dude. But this guy's like a computer programmer. Like he knows all this shit about like how the internet works and like and like how the people are being censored on the internet. He was talking about like how much power Google has, and he was and it was fucking creepy, man. Like I didn't know a lot of this shit until he talked about it, and he was saying that like in 2012 or something like that, Google cut off the internet to the whole world for like 45 minutes. Everything
Oh,
was
last
down.
year.
Last year, well, I think he said like the first time it happened was like in 2012, and he said that they did it like on a weekend, and it was when like the only time I guess like he said because they did it because it was during a time when the stock market was closed. So like I guess it wouldn't be like affecting trade on stocks and all that, but he said like everyone on the world couldn't like access the internet, and that Google also has this thing like in their terms or some shit like that where like certain websites are designated as like harmful or just stuff that's that shouldn't be on the internet, but that everything else may fall into like a certain category. So it's like any other website, and that means every single website, if they put like may be. So like you can have like a fucking Etsy or eBay store or like something like that, a YouTube channel where you just review fucking pasta or something, and they'll be like, you know what, we're just gonna turn off anything on the internet that has to do with pasta, and no one's gonna be able to see it.
Yeah,
And
that's
that like the
insane.
the Google cars that drive up and down the street for Google Maps,
Mm-hmm.
he said that that's what they do. But he also said like that this one guy in at Google, what he was doing with that program was that all the neighborhoods and businesses and everything that they were taking pictures of, they were also like absorbing the information from like those places as Wi-Fi. So like passwords, like fucking anything that was on your devices or computers, or like if it's photos, videos, anything that they wanted, they were just like sucking it in through the Google cards.
Wow.
That's fucking
So-
crazy, dude. Like it's just like whatever the fuck they're doing, like yeah, they give us access to like shit we search for, but like what is their actual intention behind like providing that? It's weird, you know. Why do you need my password for my Wi-Fi? I thought you were just gonna come up and like update the fucking Google map.
Take all your phone photos too, bro.
Hmm.
That's some wild shit, bro. What happens if you have some like dick pics and shit? Now it's part
Well,
of their hard drive. Censor
I'm
that
sure
shit.
they probably got a whole warehouse just for dick pics.
They have a whole storage unit of shit in their iCloud and shit
Yeah.
of dick pics and shit. But yeah, yo, what's up with the Oculus? Do you have one by any chance?
No, I don't got one. It looks cool though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, for games and all that, and like maybe some movies, but like that just like I mean, the phones are already addicting enough. You know what I mean? There's people, even I do. Just if I'm not doing anything, I'll just be on the fucking phone all the time, just because I want to see what other people are doing or what else is on the news or
Yeah.
fucking videos. So like, imagine like you like leave the phone and now you just got this fucking shit strapped to your head and you're just like on a recliner on bed and like you're so like immersed into that whatever you're watching that 4 hours go by and you don't even know it because you like your mind is just like, oh, I'm exploring, I'm out like fucking in the metaverse or like I'm watching like a 3D movie.
Yo, I heard people. All right, so during the whole pandemic, I met a couple of people who had them, and they were telling me that they were getting lost in that shit for like 6 hours, bro. Like
Believe it,
literally
man.
6 hours in that shit. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, bro. He's like, it's addictive. I'm like, damn, 6 hours. He's like, yo, he's like, yeah, he's like, yo, joking around. He's like, yo, he's like, you start, right? Like, yeah, you mess with it like an hour, 2 hours, and next thing you know, you start meeting people. He's like, you start interacting. And he's like, yo, 1 minute you could like travel here, you could be in Europe, you could be in Japan, and you have all these meeting spots and stuff, and you meeting people as you go and as you get in. And he's like, eventually, yo, bro, he's like, yo, I used to be in that shit like 6 hours. He's like, yo, a long time. Like sometimes you could even party with people, like you meet up and stuff. You just have your drink in your house and you're drinking and you with everybody else in the party. He's like, yo, it's crazy. He's like, yo, you need to try it out. I was like, huh.
You want to go party?
I know,
You
right?
want
That's
you
the
want
shit. Look at that. Same thing we were just talking about earlier about not coming out of the pod.
That's crazy, man, because like when I go to party, I used to party a lot harder and like
Yeah.
the thing about being at the party is to be there with the people, like hanging out with your boys or like meeting girls, drinking, people want to do fucking coke or whatever. I'm not saying people should do coke, but it's just like you
It's
don't
just there,
how are
you
you gonna
know?
have that? You're gonna be like in the metaverse and it's like your avatar gonna be like
It's gonna have so from what I saw, right? So you let's say you out drinking in a bar, right? And you start drinking alcohol. From what I heard, it'll start like giving you beer goggles and shit while you in VR.
oh, for real?
Yeah, so it gives you like beer goggles and stuff. So while you in VR and stuff, like you'll see like you feel like you drunk and shit. So what would it do when you do some blow and stuff?
Right? Some 3D
You know,
blow.
some 3D blow, but then it's gonna give you what?
Pass,
Enhanced
passing
vision.
a passing a 3D blunt around the table.
And then what 3D blunt is gonna give you like what hazy eyes and shit. I'm like, yo, that don't work. You really gotta
What if
smoke.
what if like parties become such a big thing in the metaverse that people in the metaverse make noise complaints and then like metaverse police come and break up the party?
Yo, talking about there's actually police in the metaverse, bro. And this whole like thing, there's like communities and they have people who are cops and shit and Karens. So I'm like, what's the point of being you ain't hit? There was also a case about a woman who felt that she was sexually assaulted in the Oculus.
Oh, I
She's like,
heard that
oh,
one in the
I'm like, bro, like it's like little shit like we did when we were in Call of Duty. Like when you got behind another person and you was like acting like you was banging him out. You got me over kneeing down and shit. Stupid stuff
They were
you
like
would
in
do in Call of
Halo. I
Duty.
remember that you kill someone in Halo and teabag them.
Oh yeah, teabag. You go over their head and be like and knee down.
Yeah, I don't know how that. Like, I wonder how that's gonna work. Like, you playing a game like that in the metaverse, and then you're like, oh yeah, this guy fucking like molested me, but this guy lives in fucking Saudi Arabia.
And the whole thing is, right, like virtual reality. It's just like it's an imaginary world, bro. It's like, what are you not gonna do as a kid? You know what I mean? I'm thinking about like when I was in my youth and shit. And like I said before to other people, growing up, bro, was wild because I remember being on the PlayStation Network, right, and playing Call of Duty, playing Grand Theft. I would wild out on the mic, like I was mad disrespectful, like real disrespectful, bro. Me and my cousins would wild out, and my brother like go in on people. You know what I mean? To the verge, I'm pretty sure that they were slamming their control and cursing us out and shit, because it always started with my name. Oh, fucking Mexico, and you went back. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So then we start having like father jokes and shit, and those were shit to hit different. You know what I mean? You could curse somebody out and be like, oh, you motherfucker, this and that. But when you start talking about dad shit, bro, whew, we used to get at people with that shit, bro. And people used to get tight. But
I remember my cousins and my brother, they were really into like playing online in the early days. And some of my friends, I remember I would walk into the room and you would just like hear them and this like fucking whoever this rando like across the country or like in a different country just fucking going at it like fuck you, no fuck you, bitch, fuck you, like headshot. You know, they get killed and like they just be like fuck you, you know, it's stuff like a bunch of like it's like man, this guy's not even fucking here. People are fucking losing it, just fucking like talking mad shit at each other over the screen.
and you can't even do that no more because I seen
No,
that's why I don't even jump on the mic no more. It's like, oh, plug in your mic. I'm like, for what? I'm like, you can't even joke around because if there's somebody in the room who feels you being offensive to somebody else, they could report you, and next thing you know, you're banned. I'm like, so what's the point? Like the whole shit was to talk shit to somebody, especially if you're playing FIFA, bro. And you have a mic, you
oh
gotta
hell
talk
yeah.
mad shit. You gotta talk mad shit, bro. And especially if you're giving them the only goalie life and shit, you're giving them like 5-0. You're gonna continue destroying them. Like fuck that. You're probably gonna go for 10. If you could have 5 goals and you're not even in halftime, you're gonna continue that shit. And then
Yeah,
they
like it's crazy because nowadays like so many people are like game online and all that, like on Twitch. Uh Everyone like they can watch you playing. You know, you got a webcam or like people even put their social media on there. So like if you don't get in trouble on Twitch or whatever, they'll just go on your fucking Instagram or your Facebook or whatever and like report you or just like get your account flagged. It's like what was cool about back then in the early days is like you could talk mad shit and it would always just be anonymous. You know, it would be like your handle could be something ridiculous, you know, like fucking like I suck dick 420. But that would be so vague. Like you there was like no picture of you, no picture of the other person. It was just like your voice. And now it's just like people like have to put their like face out there on everything. They know where to look for you because you know you want to get your social media accounts up and all that. Like now it's like you can't talk shit like you used to back in the day.
or I agree. It's like me with this whole podcast shit. Like prior to me doing this starting what 2020, you would not find shit about me, bro. Like I was like not known at all. Like you looked up my name, you looked up my handle, I wouldn't show up in nothing. Like even on like people would search me, like, yo, you're not nowhere. I was like, nah, like all my accounts are burner accounts. Like that's another thing. People are like, oh, you have a burner account, you don't have your real name or nothing. I'm like, no. For what? I'm like, you're gonna look for me, you're gonna see me. If you know me, then you know who I am. But I'm like, so it's like, damn, because even with jobs, and then I started seeing that jobs were looking at your email. So I always had, to this day, I have like 5 different emails, right? So I have like the professional one, and then the other four like just to fuck around. And now you even have to verify like a phone number, like if you open a new email and stuff, like you
Yeah,
need to
you gotta
verify with
verify
a number.
everything. It's like sometimes like when I would apply for jobs, like when I do photo stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like they ask you what's your social media handle. And I was like, what the fuck do I gotta give you my social media handle for? Like I just sent you my website. Like but I've also seen like some other people like with like some of the people I've worked for before when I do news and all that. Like some of my friends have like big followings, like 80,000, 110, 120. And like sometimes they'll get people talking shit on them because they're like, oh, I noticed you follow this person. Like, do you fuck with this person because you follow him? It's like, man, I just follow this guy. Like, I'm trying to see how what this guy's minds work like, or like, I just think what he says is fucking funny or whatever. But it's just like, oh no, you follow this person, that must mean you're on that team or something like that, or that you align with their values.
That is insane. Yeah, man. It's like you can't talk to people who think different and shit anymore. Like, oh, you fucking with them, you that team. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. That's like just being a fucking LA Dodgers fan and you ain't gonna talk to the fucking Angels or what's the other team, the baseball team out there? I know you have the Dodgers, you have the Angels.
Dodgers, Angels, the White Sox.
Oh no,
I
San
think the White
Francisco
Sox,
Giants, the Giants,
Giants. Oh, we got the Padres in San Diego.
the
Um,
Padres. Yes, just like being in one of those teams, and just because you root for that team, you can't talk to nobody else from any other team.
yeah, when it seems like the point is to like you want to talk shit to that person, especially like it's like, oh, you're a fucking Dodgers man, like fuck this fool. Like you want to talk shit, especially if you win, you want to talk shit, you want to talk down on the team. Um, it's not like, and if you don't say anything, like if you're like a hardcore fan, or like you and your friends are hardcore fans of like the Dodgers, it's like the pussy thing to not talk shit to like the fucking any other team. It's just like, no, like you want to brag about your team, you want to make fun of the other guys and all that. But now it's like it doesn't work like that in real life. But online, it's just like, oh yeah, I didn't really mean to say that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, but when I
but
see you at the stadium, you're a fucking bitch, dog.
yeah, man, it's just wild. It's really wild nowadays. All this like just being politically correct. Just had a conversation with my boys today, and he was telling me, he's like, oh, homie wants to describe himself as this and shit. I'm like, what? Like, bro, he's this. And I was like, he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I started cracking, right? I started having jokes and shit. I'm like, all right, let me relax. Let me relax. I'm like, look at you being all politically correct and shit. He's like, nah, bro, you know what I mean? Like, he wants me to say that shit. I'm like, bro. I'm like, all these titles and shit, bro. All these like fucking titles and shit. It's like it's getting out of hand. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. The only way that works, I guess, is it's like if you're a doctor, because like even outside of the hospital, like, oh, that's Doctor whatever,
mhm.
Doctor Fred. But now it's kind of like people are trying to take that same, uh, trying to bring that into like just people that either don't do shit or they just complain too much. Just like, oh, I have to call him this, or else he's gonna get me fired, or he's gonna complain, or he's gonna tell like because in California, I think it's the whole state. Like if you misgender someone, technically you can go to jail.
What?
Yeah. So like if there's like some guy or some girl and they want to be called like the opposite, be referred to as the opposite gender, if they like make a big fuss out of it, like you can go to jail. It's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like how
But what
stupid
happened?
is that? It's
But
like
what
like
happens if they're fluent? You know what I mean? Like they're fluent, and one day they want to like, what's that chick, Debbie Lovato, whatever she is? Because one
yeah.
day she's a she, one day she's a he, one day she's a they, one day she's a them. So I'm like, bitch, I'm sorry, like, bitch, I
Imagine
can't go wrong with bitch.
imagine you catch shit with her and you're like, yo, what the fuck I do? And she's like, you call me a she at 6:35 p.m. when in that time slot I'm a they.
Exactly. I'm like nah. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I called you a bitch. I'm like, bitch is universal
Bitch
for
is
men.
universal, yeah.
You could be a man, you could be a woman, you could be a kid, you a bitch.
Bitch is
That's it.
unisex.
Exactly. The unisex term now. I'm like, I feel like identifying people as bitches. So if you have a problem, I'm sorry, bitch. Officer bitch, this bitch is wilding.
There's this trans girl I follow. She used to be a guy, a gay guy, and now she's just like full on, like she has surgery and everything. But she
Yeah,
doesn't. What's cool is that she doesn't play with like that whole pronoun shit.
yeah.
So she'll make fun. She'll make fun of other people's pronouns. And like she made this shirt, and like it says like my pronouns are that bitch.
See, I
So
like that.
she has fun with it, which is cool. Like she doesn't get offended about fucking like dumb little minuscule shit like that. Like she can tell that it's just retarded. Like just like yo, like if you or me go up to like a fucking crowd of girls, like 99.9% of the time, they're not gonna say like, "Oh, that's a she," and like have like pre knowledge about that. So
Yeah,
if
it's
they
like
call me a dude, I've met some people that in California that they don't like being called dude.
what they want to be called.
I don't know, but they're just like, don't call me a fucking dude. Like,
All
cause
right,
they I
bro.
guess they think that dude is like too much of like
Masculine.
real masculine or something like that. And then they're like, don't call me dude. And it's just like, yo, you're in fucking Southern California, man. Like everyone here calls each other a dude. Like I've called a doctor before a dude. I've called a policeman dude. I call like people I don't like dude. Like it's not a fucking being dude is not a gender.
It's exactly. It's like bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm. Before growing up, I was always dropping the N word and this and that and yo, my man's, and then I see B is coming back. You know what I'm in New York, like yo B, it's coming back.
Yeah.
So hey, yo B, it sounds better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you say hey yo B, you could be saying hey yo bro, or you could be saying hey yo bitch.
It's like, yo, what kind of bee? Elaborate. Like a friendly bee, or are you trying to diss me, bee? It's like, no, I'm calling you bitch for bee for bitch. I'm just gonna keep it short.
Now I'm gonna be politically care. I'm like, I don't know what's the
Yeah.
timing today on the B, so you pick the one you want to be identified as, bitch. But yeah, man, it's just wild. Like when you really think about all these things that growing up, that you can't say this, you can't say that. Just even being on the whole, like you just said, the whole transgender thing, right? Like we all grew up, with gay people in either our families or close relatives or like close friends or in general in the neighborhood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was like more freedom, like we could have jokes, you know what I mean? Like I could be able to be like, oh, you eat bush or you suck dick. And there was no disrespect, you know what I mean? It was all jokes and shit, you know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, you're being offensive. I'm like, how? Like, you could literally take a phrase that you would say back in the days where, oh, you're being offensive to me. I'm like, that's another, even the whole Me Too era shit, right? Because of that shit, I stopped saying hello to women. Like, I don't give a fuck, bitch. Move.
Yo, yeah. And when that whole thing started up, I remember seeing some people that make videos on YouTube about that, and that they were talking about how a lot of guys they don't even like, yeah, they straight up just don't talk to women anymore, or like they don't even flirt because they're afraid of like fucking getting accused of some other shit.
Yeah, it's like a
And
backlash. It's like,
I think there was a commercial. I think it was Gillette. They made this like the company that makes the razors. They
yeah,
made this commercial where they were trying to like basically show how it's not okay to like go at women at a certain type of way. And then like there was it cuts to a scene where like there's this girl and she walks by a couple of guys and like these two guys look at her and one of them starts to like, oh, like I'm gonna go after her. I'm gonna see if I can get it. I'm gonna talk her up. And as soon as he takes a step to go follow her, his friend stops him and just goes like, it's like, what the fuck is that? Like how else are you supposed to like yeah, like don't be fucking mad disrespectful if you're trying to get at a girl. But like to get at a girl, you have to approach her and say like, hey, you look really nice today. Like, I'm curious about what you do. So it's like you're making guys like not want to like approach women anymore. Like so many guys felt that they're just like, man, like if it's gonna like if I say hi to this girl and I tell her I think she's cute, she's probably gonna tell someone that I fucking sexually assaulted her or some shit.
Yeah, I completely agree, bro. It felt weird. Like there was really chicks out there who really took it to that extreme. Like you say, oh, I'm like, oh, I feel harassed. I'm like, I just said hi. You know what I mean? It's like, I
Yeah.
then fuck out of here. Then like be on the safe side. I don't say hi to nobody and shit. You see an empty seat and stuff, and you sit down. Like, well, equality. I'm sorry, I'm sitting down. Like, oh, there's mad dudes here. Nobody sent. Nah, we ain't standing up. Like, this is what was created. Like, if I give you my seat, and depending how you take it, you could take it in a negative way. So might as well let your ass stand up the whole ride. But yeah, man, it's just weird. It's just weird. Like even dating nowadays and stuff. Like, yeah, you do still have like not saying like men can't go and talk to a girl, but it depends on the female. Because some of them would take it a negative way. You can't
Yeah.
even look. If you look, you could be harassing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like fucking looking. Oh, why the fuck you looking? I'm like, your tits is out. You have a fat ass. Like, what the fuck you want me to do?
He's like, I would have told you that on the third date, but you just made shit awkward. So I'm gonna just fucking let it all out now. Make sure we never make eye contact ever again.
I'm like, let's just call me on the phone or text me. I'm like, we already live in a pod. If you want to jump on VR, we jump on VR. We don't have to make eye contact. You ever seen the movie Demolition Man? She's like, what is that? I'm like, well, that's a movie where they put out a VR set and they would have intercourse, but it was weird. So, yo,
Yeah,
it's
it's all retarded now, man. It's like I wouldn't even call it backwards just because like shit like this has never happened before. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Like I don't know what it means for like future generations that like want to have a family or want to go on dates. It's just like, man, well, it's not worth it. It's like, Dad, the last time I asked that girl out, she fucking I was in county for like 3 weeks because I called her cute or because I wanted to get it that night. It's like I don't want to go through that shit again.
like I tried to get her number and shit, and she was like, "Oh, I
I tried
felt
to
some
get her
kind of way."
number, and then she called 911.
And then she told him that he didn't know I was a he at the time, but I felt offended because I was a he at 6:05 when he asked
Yeah,
me.
he should have known better.
I'm like, you was a dude at 6:05, yes. And you said she or her or miss or shorty. I'm like, yo, I didn't know, but this whole identity joint, bro, is wild. Even at work, like they really train people at workplaces about this whole gender neutral shit is wild.
Yeah, I was hanging out with one of my boys a couple weeks ago, and two of his other friends were there, and this girl was talking about that. And she's like pretty lefty, but she was talking about how she doesn't like agree with the whole pronoun thing
Mm-hmm.
because she says like, yeah, like at work, like they try to make us do that. He's like they don't force it, but like they really try to like they're kind of pushing it. Where like when you write someone an email at work, like they want you to put like he, him, or he or her, she, and she's like, why the fuck do I need to do that? Like I'm trying to like send you a fucking invoice.
Yo, and it's wild, bro. So what happens like if you send this to a certain person, right? So you're gonna write he, she, or or her, him. and then you put it in parentheses, or do you like put it together? Because technically it would have to go in parentheses, you know what I mean? Because you know you're like trying to like, or do you put it without parentheses? And because it could be offensive with parentheses, like, oh, so you boxing me in now? You think I'm in a box? I'm like, oh shit, bro. Like, I'm trying to play it safe over here, and you're telling me I'm boxing you in. I'm like, I didn't mean to. I'm just using proper grammar. I'm like, am I correct? Is this proper grammar? No, that's not. That means it's boxing me in. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, anything you put in parentheses, do you feel is being boxed in? Yes. I'm like, oh shit. Then we got a problem. Then
Yeah.
there's a lot of English books that are messing up right now.
All these English majors.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's kind of like they kind of companies do that a lot with like the whole like with race now, where like which is fucking crazy. Like they want to like in certain like corporate like bigger companies, not really like big smaller ones, but like in really big companies, they'll try to like segregate the workplace because they want people to feel more comfortable with like the people they're around. And like for me, like I've never worked in a place like that. I've only heard about it from people that go through that. And
mm-hmm.
in my head, I was just like, how is that not offensive? Like, are you trying to like does your fucking boss or your HR person think that if you're Asian or black or brown, like you can't handle being around a white person or something, or like around another race? Like do you like is that what it is or something? Like, cause like what do you mean like how you want people to feel comfortable with that?
Yo, it's just wild, bro. It's just wild. This is man. Is I think, in my point of view, right? I'm not, throwing it. I'm just throwing that out there. What I observe, and I think it might get to a point. I think we're going to a point where eventually, not maybe this generation or the following generation might become the generation of I don't give a fuck. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't give a fuck about your gender. They don't give a fuck about your nationality, which is going to be a pretty disrespectful generation, if you get me. They're going to grow up to be like, I don't really give a fuck about nothing. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I don't give a fuck about participation. I just care about winning and about me. Because,
It's yeah, I think you're right, man. Because I think it's like just how shit is right now. How like so many people push this pronoun and identity shit. Uh, like why wouldn't it just like swing the other way? You know what I mean? Like one thing I kind of like think about is how like in schools they do that. Where like oh we gotta be all this like pronoun shit. If it's like your teacher, the teacher says like oh yeah I look like a woman, but I want you to call me they. And I remember like as a kid like school is not cool, just to put it bluntly. When
mm-hmm,
you're a kid in school, unless you're like a little goody two shoes, like you're always fucking around and shit like that. So like why do they think that because they're doing this that kids are still gonna like think school is fucking cool now? Like if anything, like you that's still like an authority figure in school, and kids are gonna want to rebel. So I can totally see kids just like at some point, like maybe this generation going just like, you know what, fuck you, teacher. I don't care if you got a mustache and a boob job. You're still a fucking bitch.
exactly. Because, like you just pointed out, if school's teaching this shit, right? So anything that has to do with authority, right? Teaching you what you want to be teach, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually it's gonna turn to a point where you're like, I don't want to listen to you fucking tell me this shit. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
It's still
fuck
funny
your
to talk shit at
values.
the teacher.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. It could get to that point where people really be on some like fuck it. Like it gets to that. I think it might get to that point. Or it could go to the opposite where it goes completely left. You get me?
Yeah.
Where you have like a whole bunch of like people who are like balls deep in this shit. But I eventually I think it's gonna go the other way around. Like it's gonna really backfire.
I think that's what I believe. I think it's gonna backfire on them. Uh, because again, like even though that the fucking schools or like the workplace is doing the thing that they think is like trendy, and shit like that. It's just like it's still an authority figure that most people like in work or in school are just like, man, fuck this shit. Like I don't care what you got to say. I'm just here to make my money, or I'm here to just get my high school diploma. I don't give a fuck about this. I don't I don't give a fuck about this class or that fucking club after school. Like I'm trying to just fucking do my thing. But yeah, I think like the fact that they're like trying to make people be so inclusive and like they want everyone to consider everyone else, which I mean, I get that point. Like, yeah, you want to be a considerate person, but if you're trying to force someone to like take everyone into account, even if you don't know them, it's just like, no, dude, like the world doesn't fucking work that way. Animals in the fucking kingdom, like in nature, don't even do that.
Or fucking lion ain't going to a hyena like, oh, I fucking gonna eat you, hyena. I'm go find a nice fucking green grass and shit. I'm gonna eat the grass today. I'm not gonna eat you. I'm gonna go eat a fish. No, it don't work like that. Survival of the fittest.
Exactly.
And even at that, even our testosterone levels are crazy. They're going down because that's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
thing.
facts, man. Like, who was it? Like, there was like that show, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Have you heard of that show?
Yeah.
So like they did a testosterone test on the guys that for that show,
Mm-hmm.
and like all those guys had like below normal levels of testosterone.
That's crazy.
Like every single one of them.
And we are getting softer, B. We are
We are
becoming
getting
more
softer, man.
emotional. There's a lot of emotional men out there right now, bro. And hey, and it's not your fault. It's our biological, it's the shit that we eat. You know what I mean? Those microplastics that is in our food, the
Yeah.
modified food that we eat and shit, and it all takes a toll on our genetics and our DNA at the end of the day. Only other
Mhm.
thing that we could do is take boosters, you know what I mean? Like take testosterone and shit with fucking more testosterone. Because
Yeah.
if
Do some blow.
anything, exactly, the only thing that has more testosterone than us is the opposite sex right now. They have a lot of testosterone. Women have fucking crazy amount of testosterone because you hear how built they are. Even the UFC, when I see like fights and shit, I always said it. Women have a fucking more entertaining fight than men. Like women really go in, bro. When I be seeing these UFC fighters and Bellator women, I'm like, God damn.
Yo, was it that not this last UFC, but I saw the one where was it that Brazilian girl fought that Venezuelan chick? Uh and they were
The
just like
last
fucking
UFC,
toe to yeah, the one yeah, before the last one. They were just going toe to toe, man. Like just like fucking
just fucking hammering each other,
and
bro.
my brother, he does MMA. Like he goes to the MMA gyms and does jujitsu and all that.
Yeah.
And here in San Diego, she was famous for a bit because she was like the only UFC fighter from San Diego that still lived in San Diego, and they would go to the same MMA school, MMA gym.
Mm-hmm.
And one time I dropped them off at the front of the place, and this girl was standing outside, and he was like, "Oh, that's what's her name from the UFC, the girl that she fought Ronda Rousey one time." And I looked at her and I was like, "That's really her?" And he was like, "Yeah." And that girl was fucking built, man. Like they look a different way on TV, but when you see them like in real life, you're like they're built more than like certain guys. Like this chick's
Word.
forearms were like fucking like they were bigger than my forearms. She was just like all fucking like she was intimidating, dude. Like I would not fuck with her.
Grab you in the chokehold, be like, yo, you're gonna
Gave
eat
him
this
a
shit
fucking choke.
tonight. Ain't no fucking no. Eat it. I'm like, all right, fuck it. If I must.
I must.
Fuck it. I'm already
Yeah.
down here.
It's like those girls that do bodybuilding and all that shit too. Like I remember one time I saw a girl that was like a serious bodybuilder. And like she was pretty, but like her body was just like, whoa, this is weird. Like
Yeah.
you're like full on like fucking she had like the muscles right here, like next to her like neck and all that. Like she had like it was just awkward for me to see that because I was just like like, whoa, like I didn't know like women could do that. Like it almost made me think like it wasn't a woman because of how like
Yeah,
how built she was.
that's crazy. Damn, bro. At least you got to see some dope people, bro. That's pretty cool. You know what I mean? That's different, but fun at the same time. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's all I gotta give up. I gotta give up credit to women because they been really fucking putting it out there and shit. And when it
They're
comes
stepping
down
up for
to,
sure.
you gotta give it up. You know what I mean? Credit is due where credit is due and shit. Cause I'm sorry, man. The last UFC that I watched was with damn, I forgot the guy. You see, that's how I know is the the two Nigerian dudes. Oh, man.
Oh, and Ganu
Francis Ngannou, yeah.
and Cyril or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those big ass dudes. Yeah,
Yeah, I watched not to get nothing at them, you know what I mean? Not to, say they whack and shit, but at the end of the day, or you really thought you were gonna see a fight. You thought you were gonna see the co-main event was amazing. What's his fucking name? Moreno and Oliveira. Yo,
oh yeah, yeah.
that shit was
Yeah,
dope.
that guy's from Tijuana, Moreno. He's from
Yeah.
Tijuana. He's like he's really big out here.
Yo, that fight was amazing, bro. Like, even though I do believe that Moreno did win the fight, but it was really close. But I really think that when you look at the numbers thrown, the numbers landed, I really think that Moreno gave a way more entertaining fight. Yeah, he got
Yeah,
dropped and shit, but he didn't get like knocked out. You got me?
yeah. And they want to do a fourth one, and in
Yeah,
Mexico. That's badass.
yeah,
I want to see. I want to watch that one for sure.
word. And then the main event was nothing but grappling, bro, just wrestling, going to the floor. And then Francis got gassed after the third round and shit because he couldn't knock homie out. But I really thought they were gonna go in there and scrap two heavyweights, like fucking come lumped up and shit. But they both played it safe. And for the audience, it's boring as fuck, right? But for somebody fighting in the cage, I understand, you know what I mean? Like when you grapple and stuff, it's
You want to
hard to,
conserve your energy and shit.
yeah, and you grappling and shit. It's also hard too to maintain from not getting from not tapping, you know what I mean? Not getting damn, I forgot the word right now. When they grab you and shit and make you tap, I forgot what the hell it's called. But
Also, they want to submit them.
submit you, yeah. When getting
Yeah.
submitted is hard and it takes a lot of energy. Like I always tell people, like when I used to train and shit, mad props to homie who fucking submitted me, bro. I fucking fought tooth and nail not to get submitted that day because homie was like a good 300 pounds, bro, 5'5". And he distributed his weight like motherfucker was 100 pounds, bro.
I got
Ah,
a friend. He's a good friend of me here in San Diego, and he's a pretty popular tattoo artist. He goes by Splurgio on IG, but he's also like a former MMA fighter. He's like a really high level Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like he's really good at jiu-jitsu. Like he's done competitions and a bunch of stuff like that. And he's like all tatted like on his head and everything.
yeah,
And like there's this video of him that's pretty famous where like some years ago some guy was trying to break into his dad's house and he got that dude and he like got him on the floor and like like he put his head like he wrapped his legs around his head so he had this guy on the fucking floor the whole time just like choking him out and you can hear him telling him if you fucking move I'll break your fucking legs off.
yo. But in general, bro, it is wild. Like in New York, right? I'm pretty, and it's the same shit in the West Coast. Like when it comes down to like people who train, yo, it's crazy how many people train nowadays, bro. It's ridiculous. Like the people you would least expect, right? That train will whip your fucking ass, B. Like you see the scrawny little motherfucker, right? Like, oh, I'll take this motherfucker out. Next thing you know, you on
Oh
the
no.
floor, like, yo, what happened? Like that motherfucker knocked you out. That's what the fuck happened, bro.
Yeah, no facts, man. Yeah, I remember like when I was growing up, there was just like karate,
Mm-hmm.
taekwondo, but now there's like MMA gyms all over the place. You know, and they're all full. Like you always see people inside of them just fucking grappling and fucking sparring and shit like that, which is kind of cool. I think it's a good thing just to see like people. Not to say that fucking karate and taekwondo suck, but like when you see people training MMA and all that, you're
Yeah.
like, yo, if this guy has to defend himself, I'm like the average person, this guy's gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, because you got mad tools on you. You're not just fighting on your feet. You're also gonna go to the ground.
Yeah, you're gonna go to the ground, you're gonna choke someone out, or you're just gonna fucking deck someone like in 2 hits.
But yo, it's just like have you ever rolled or not? Yeah.
No, I haven't done that.
Yo, bro, you got to do it. Like you have to. Like if there's something you got to do, like in a bucket list, bro, that's one of them. It's fun, bro. Like it's fun, and that's one thing I gotta give up to like whoever does like jujitsu and stuff, or even Muay Thai or boxing. Like sparring or rolling is all love. You get me? And it's
I hear
fun.
that a
Like
lot, that it's really just like yeah, you're like fucking each other up, but like that everyone is just like really friendly. There's a lot of camaraderie. Um, People like are actually like learning from each other. Like, oh shit, like if
mhm.
this guy does this, then I can only do so much, or I can do this and try to like get out of it. It's like people are like learning from each other and not just trying to like fucking dodge shit all the time now.
Not to say there's not pricks in the gym because you're always gonna have a couple. I'm not saying that you're not gonna encounter that, but just be aware that most of the time is everybody's cool, especially rolling, especially when it comes down to like jujitsu and the roll. Like I said, I got submitted by homie who's 300 pounds, 5'5". So you know that's a big dude. I'm what? I'm 5'11 and 3/4 and shit, mad random. And at the time I probably weighed like about 180. But he used his weight, you know what I mean? He distributed his weight
Mhm.
beautifully and he caught me like, fuck it. I was like, damn, bro. Like, and he spin too, like he spin and he grabbed my hand. And I was like, all right, cool, here. Like, fuck it, bro. Like that shit was amazing. Cause I was watching YouTube videos too. So I would keep my hands close to my body and shit and not give him no room to like try to like ease his way in. And he caught me. And I was like, yo, that shit was amazing. And yes, you might end up with somebody's balls in your face like this and shit, or his ass in your face and shit.
It's the price you pay.
That's the price you pay. And then also make sure if you roll, guys, wear a cup. There's guys over there who free ball. Don't wear a cup. Don't wear cups. So you know how that shit feels mad awkward. Like I actually had a guy once tell me, it's like, yo, make sure you wear a cup next time. I'm like, bro, I'm wearing a cup. I'm like, and I hit my shit. He's like, oh, all right, all right. So he felt different. Like once I told him I had a cup on, he's like, all right, cool. Like he thought I had a stiff.
Like, yo, what kind of rolling you think this is, man? Oh, you know what? That's another thing about growing up is that I remember growing up, like if because it was, I mean, even right now, it's still mostly men that fight,
Yeah.
fight with one another out like in public or whatever. They go, they just fucking throw fists at each other. I remember growing up that guys and boys were like more like, not that it's a good thing, but it was just like if two guys got in a fight, they fucking fought it out. And like now it's just like you can't even like, yeah, like you want to discourage a fight, obviously, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
people with the right mind, they want to avoid conflict. But like now, like you said, like we're so soft that like now people just don't want to like yo, like if someone fucking shoves me or like tries to like fucking be super hyper aggressive with me, like I can't let that happen. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen after he like, I don't know if he's gonna pull a knife out or what, or if he's gonna try to
A
fucking actually
gun.
bust all my teeth out, a gun. And like now, so many people, which is cool. That's why I like people doing like MMA and all that, and Muay Thai, because like now again we're so soft and like so many people, especially guys, like with the whole like being emasculated. It's just kind of like people are afraid of conflict now. Like a lot of people don't know how to handle that kind of situation where like you either try to talk them out of it, or if they can, just like I guess we're gonna go fucking throw some
Yeah,
hands right now.
we
Now
gonna
it's
go
just like, oh
down.
shit, I'm gonna get fucking sued, or I'm gonna get fired, or I'm gonna knock this guy out, and then his fucking girl is gonna say that I sexually assaulted both of them. It's just, um, which is crazy because like I noticed that too in Mexico. Like when dudes go at it, they'll just fucking say like, you know what, fuck it, dude, we're gonna handle this right now,
Hmm.
and they'll just fucking fight. And if you lose, you lose, and whatever, you just move on. But like right now in America, just like again, like you said, we're just fucking soft right now.
Damn right, bro. We got to go back to the good old days.
Yeah.
And then another one is, bro, another one is like this whole gun violence shit, right? And if you notice, gun violence is really strong in like strong liberal states like California, New York,
In areas where like it's either you can't own a
Chicago.
gun
Yeah.
getting a gun is really hard. They have the most gun violence.
But then you have states like Texas that is technically it's not even yeah, it's a concealed state. You can still carry. You
Yeah,
carry
but it's
now.
constitutional carry now. So
Mm-hmm.
like everyone out there can carry a gun. You don't need to do anything. Uh, and they don't. I mean, yeah, this fucked up shit happened in Texas, but uh, they don't have the problems that like LA has or Chicago or like like even New York. You know what I mean? That's like a certain people that are just like very anti-gun. It's like they don't get it. It's like a bad guy is a bad guy, and bad guys are gonna do whatever they fuck they want to do with whatever they got, even if it means buying a gun off the black market. Like that's not good. Just because the law says you can't own a gun, like you really think that's gonna stop a bad guy, a guy that like fucking makes his living off of robbing people and like fucking like that means nothing to them.
It sure doesn't. It's like well, just another day at work and shit for them.
Yeah, it's like I'm already not following the law.
Like the fuck I'm gonna follow the law for it. And then these like right now, right? So the district attorney for New York City is trying to be real lenient. Something along the lines like California shit, like just giving people a smack on the wrist. I'm like, don't do that shit again, okay? So now we just had 3 cops. We just in January, bro. We're not even in the 4th week. 3 cops have passed away and shit. They have gotten shot. So now people are protesting. They go into the DA office and like, yo, you can't be soft on crime, B. Whatever the fuck you trying to do and shit, you need to be more strict. Like we don't need that shit here. And in a way it's good because you can't really be soft. Because once you soft and shit, it's gonna end up something like California. Because California is really going through hell right now. Because all
Yeah.
the fucking soft laws and shit y'all really got right now.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Uh, like yeah, like I grew up just like always hearing about like how shit would happen in LA and like in downtown San Diego and all that. But like not to this level, where it's just like now guy like someone that robs someone at gunpoint, it's just like, oh well, it's just gonna be like they catch me, I'll probably just do a night in jail.
Damn, a night.
Some shit like that. Yeah, like they're doing the whole like no cash bond here also. Uh,
Oh
just
no.
letting violent people out.
No, over here it's worse. So what
Uh,
the New York DA is trying to pass is if you go rob, right? And you rob somebody at gunpoint, um, as long as the gun, it could be a toy gun, and they try to arrest you and press charges and shit. If it's a toy gun, I mean, in general, if it's a fake gun, they have to drop the charges because it's not a loaded gun.
See, like I don't get that because the people that are anti-gun, like let's say like they get robbed and someone comes at them with a toy gun, Like even the person that's anti-gun doesn't know that's a fake gun.
So what, the criminal's gonna be walking around with a fucking sign that says fake gun and shit and
Like,
stick
don't
up
worry,
people?
fake gun enthusiast.
So then when cops approach this person, they can't even do their job because now you gotta be like, oh shit, if I arrest him and shit, he had a fake gun, now we're gonna get in trouble. And in New York as well, you could go against the police department and the officer that arrested you.
That's crazy.
So a
That's
lot of
crazy
cops
because
are,
like you got that, and I know in New York you got like the really strict mandates, and so like you can like basically get free if you're like a criminal that robs someone with a fake gun or they can't prove that you had a loaded gun. But if you and your family go to fucking Burger King, they'll fucking send in like 10 people to get your ass out of there.
because you're not wearing your mask or you're
You
not
ain't wearing a
vaccinated.
mask. Yeah.
But yo, in general, even yeah, now that we're talking about this, and I'm pretty sure this video is gonna get censored now on YouTube. So PlayStation 5, Oculus, and iPhone 14. All right, guys. Magic words.
China number one.
China is number one, and Taiwan is not a country. And North Korea invented the
Fuck
burrito.
Taiwan.
The Supreme Court, bro, has really
North
been.
Korea. Thank you.
Did they put Korean barbecue?
Oh hell yeah! I asked for extra Korean North Korean barbecue on that. I want to show my loyalty. Put 4 scoops of
Where
that shit in there.
where we gotta show loyalty before they come over here. At least we like, you got proof. You see, we've been bigging y'all up, B.
Kept the receipt. It says extra North Korean barbecue on it.
So the Supreme Court has really been holding ground for us, you know what I mean? About this whole mandate shit. Like, I'm like, cool. But New York overruled it. So the Supreme Court had dropped the mandate to wear a mask and shit. But
Yeah, I
then
saw about that.
New
They're
York did
still they're
some
still
shit.
like they're like ignoring it basically.
So I'm just waiting for them to drop the mandate for kids, bro, on the vaccine. Like, yo, I'm just weighing that out because I'm pretty sure as time goes, I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court is gonna rule against that shit. You got me? Like, I'm like, nah, we ain't having no vaccine mandate. And then UK and Denmark just lifted their mandates.
Yeah, Denmark just lifted and they're like, fuck this shit, man. We ain't doing it no more. It's crazy like how like so all these like Mexico, like the president even over there says like, yo, like we're not gonna, you guys want to take it, that's one thing, but I'm not about to fucking force this shit on anybody. So it's crazy how like all these other countries that they're just not fucking with it.
Yeah.
Or if they did before, they're all of a sudden dropping it. But like here in the States, it's like so split. It's just like you go to New York, California, it's like, oh fuck that. We're gonna show your vax passport. If you want to work here, get a vaccine. If you live in Australia, they gotta put you in a fucking camp. Where you like if you're like good behavior, they give you like a blue wristband and they let you go outside for like an hour.
What?
Yeah. There's a video of a girl, like she it's a TikTok, but everyone's like sharing it around lately, where she's like all happy and shit and doing a dance. And she says that I got my wristband today and it lets me go outside for like 15 minutes.
Damn, bro. This is why we need
But
guns.
she was like happy about it. Like she was like, oh, like I did my part and now I get my little reward. So I get to go outside and fucking,
So
I don't
she
know, go to the
she got
fucking liquor
brainwashed.
store. Yeah, so she's like dancing in the video and everything.
You see, it's damn, bro. But yeah, there's so much shit with that. Like, I'm
Some
back.
people,
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's what I
I'm
always
not,
tell
I'm not,
people.
I'm not, but like I don't. For me, it's just like it's about choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And most
But
people
oh,
who
go ahead,
talk,
go ahead.
yeah, most people who have talked about, like, the whole choice and is your choice and shit about getting vaccinated. I'm one of them. Like, I'm vaccinated, but people, the way I speak, you would think I'm not. You get me?
Yeah,
But it's your choice, and you know what I mean. At the end of the day, if you want to get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Simple as that. And I think we shouldn't be pushing other people to get it, especially kids. That's my problem, bro.
I saw this meme, and it was a picture with Dr. Fauci, and it said like, "Don't forget this winter to wear a coat so the person next to you doesn't get cold."
And especially this what's it called? I mean not Oculus, whatever this damn Omarion or whatever the hell this damn
The Omicron, yeah, the
Omicron.
Omarion.
Yeah, this damn I got hit. I finally got the shit, bro. Like at least I got the diet one and I didn't get the full blown COVID.
He got Diet
I
COVID.
got diet COVID and shit. But even at that, bro, it's just wild because even at like at work, they'll be like, all right, so now you could come to work. If you're positive, but you're showing sinuses, it's cool. Come to work. But wear a double mask. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, B. Like, I'm like, enough is enough. Like, you want me to come? I'm positive. What is that gonna stop from getting out the mask and ending up with somebody?
Yeah, one of my friends, I was talking to him earlier, and he was just saying like, "Oh, like yeah, like I got vaccinated, but I'm not for the mandates." He's like, "I got both shots." He's like, "And I got the third one." But it's like, "But I'm not planning to get any more after that." And Israel has already put like they're doing a fourth one in Israel.
I don't understand that shit either, bro. Israel, America, Australia are ODing with this shit, bro. I think the bad part is with us, I think is the way they went about it and how they it was like a prize. You get a shot, you get a prize, you get a shot, you get a prize. You get burgers, you get French fries. Is the way they went about it,
Fucking,
bro.
there were some people putting up in the beginning how they were giving like fucking free donuts.
Yeah, so
And
I'm like,
it was just a bunch of fat fucks on social media, just like I got my donut and I got my fucking shot.
but that's the thing.
That's
It's
what,
like, yo, all this shit, and you just made it worse. But I'm pretty sure if you would have been charging people to get vaccinated, I think would have had a whole different effect. Because then people would have been fighting, oh, why we got to pay for this vaccine? You got me? Then more
I
people would
think
have got it.
that's what they're gonna like. I think somewhere like Germany and some other countries, they're saying like anyone that doesn't want to get it, they're gonna like. I think in Germany they're gonna charge people like $5,000 a month or 5,000 euros
What?
or €1,000 a month if you don't get it.
5,000 euros for not getting vaccinated?
Yeah,
That's insane.
like I don't get how they're gonna charge if you want to get it, it's free. Like if you so you can
Then
like voluntarily go get it and it doesn't cost you anything. But if you don't want to get it, they're gonna charge you money. It's just like what if I like change my mind later on down the line?
that is insane. But yeah, just the way they go about it, And most people who have money and wealth, most of them took it. You know what I mean? Like people don't understand that shit either, too. Like a lot of them took it, like a lot of people. Because when it first came out, they were all paying top dollar.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, it was crazy. I remember like in the first year there was like a bunch of nurses like on social media posting that people should get it and yada yada yada. And then like some other people were like looking at their social media and saying like, yo, like this guy only got one dose and now he's vacationing out in Mexico. And then like I'm willing to bet that so many people don't even have it, having like they just got a fucking fake vax card. They got the card and they just wrote that they got it. Uh,
Oh no, there's a
there,
lot,
there's
bro.
there's a lot of people. I'm pretty sure like a lot of like celebrities and famous people are just like keeping it on the down low, but just saying like, yeah, I got it. But there's some other guy I was listening to. I forget his name, but he was talking about how like the laws work for the rich versus the poor. And he said, like, if you're rich, there are no laws for you, really. He's like, there's fines, yeah, but if you're rich, he's like, what's a fine?
What is
It's like
whatever amount?
it's like a rich guy getting a parking ticket. You know what I mean? Like Bill Gates getting a parking ticket. That shit doesn't mean anything. He makes more money taking the fucking shit than he does like paying that fine. So like for him, he was just like those things. Like if you're rich, like there really is no like rules you have to follow because you just pay the fine. Like, that's how he's like. That's how we see it. It's just a fine that we have to pay, and we pay it, and we just move on with our lives. He's like, but if you're poor, that's like, oh shit, it's like it's an inconvenience for you. It's like it backs up your bills, or like you can't fucking do this or do that because you have to pay this fine. So he was like trying to like uh just trying to make that distinction where he's like saying like that's why rich people like they tend to fly private. He's like, because
Mm-hmm.
he's like on a private plane, like you don't gotta wear a mask on a private plane.
You don't got to be
He's like,
vaccinated.
you don't gotta do any of that on a private plane. He's like, you just pay, you get on your plane, you and your friends, like, and none of that doesn't exist for you. He's like, if you're flying commercial, like, yeah, you're different. You're a different class. You have to obey all those rules. He's like, if you don't obey them, they kick you off the flight, and then you can't fly on that airline.
But if you're rich, the rules don't apply.
Yeah,
Even during
exactly.
the peak of the pandemic, look at how many celebrities had parties during the peak of the pandemic, and so called everybody was tested before they went to party. Tested.
Get
You have over
tested.
not happening. You know what I mean? So people need to see the bigger picture sometimes too. You know what I mean? But hey, money talks. It's like the saying
Money does
goes.
talk, man.
Money talk, bullshit, whatever. But in general, bro, the shit that's been going on is crazy. What we're gonna close it off with this question right here, bro, because I want to know how you feel about it. Because everybody feels like Mr. 45 is gonna get in trouble for whatever the hell he did, right? I don't think anything's gonna happen, and I think he would run a second time for 2024, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
What you think, bro? What you think's gonna happen with that guy?
it's crazy, man. Because like like I've told you, like I've worked with a bunch of people that run in those circles, and I've been to those I went to a convention last year where Trump spoke, and like people fucking love that guy, man. Like it's kind of crazy. Like it doesn't seem like it seems like as time goes on, more people even if you didn't like him before, like more people are just kind of like they're kind of like opening up to him a little now because like a lot of people say like, well, at least when he was saying shit, he was actually telling us what he was gonna fucking do. Like he even though he was talking that shit, he was telling you like, oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and like this country fucks over there, but this thing we're gonna go fuck him up. He's like, this guy ain't doing shit. He's like fucking lying. He can barely talk. Um, he he's like so many people like with Latinos, it's like 3/4 now almost that just don't fuck with Biden anymore. Like every
There's a
day, like
lot.
every month, it's like his numbers just keep going down and down and down. Um, so I think he might run again. I think he'll probably fucking get a majority of it. And if he doesn't run, it'll probably be someone else that like him or someone that's like fucking close to him that has like the same kind of like beliefs and values and all that. Um, because like I think he did some good stuff. Like I mean, like that's the thing I try to tell some people. Like, yeah, he like talked a lot of shit. He was like poorly worded statements and all that. But at the end of the day, like you like whether you love him or hate him, like he got whatever he did or said he was gonna do, he did it. Um, so like I think that's one thing that people kind of like you kind of agree on, even people that don't like him. Where as Biden is saying like he's like, oh, we're gonna help fucking blacks and Latinos, we're gonna fucking do all this, and he hasn't done any of that shit. Like, and it's been 1 year, he hasn't done any of that shit.
Nope.
With this whole thing with the fucking border, he ain't doing jack shit about that. Um, so I think like by then, when that time comes, I think people are just gonna want someone that's like fuck it, dude. I don't care if he fucking makes fun of Mexicans again. At least, at least he's gonna be fucking sticking to his word. Um, or like again, like if it's not him, it's probably gonna be someone similar to him. But I just think a lot of people just don't fuck around with what's happening.
I completely agree with you, bro. And then also when he was in office, we knew what was going on. Like we knew everything. Like he didn't do this, he didn't do that. He's fucking with this bill, he's fucking with that bill. Right now, we have no fucking idea what's going on. We still talking about him because they still trying to investigate him. Like
I know, right?
we know more about his
For like
investigation than what's the current administration doing.
for his first 4 years, everyone was like fucking still talking about him every day, just talking shit about him, trying to get him impeached. And now that he's been out for like over a year now, people are still like, well, fuck that guy still. Like we need to, like you said, we need to investigate. He's like, man, like if you guys couldn't get him out of office in those 4 years, what makes you think that you're gonna get something on him now, or that he's gonna like fucking, I don't know, like I don't know what people want. It's just like that it's so distracting for people that like they're not even focused. More people are now, but um I think more people are now just like pissed off about Biden because he's just fucking goes on TV and then goes like, "Oh, where am I?" Or he'll just fucking, yeah, he'll just fucking like pictures of him eating ice cream and shit like that. Like it's just it doesn't like no one's fucking with this guy either. I think.
Nah.
Um,
In that last bill that they had a chance and they would have got the it would have been a big upper hand was that reform to vote that was they
yeah,
were supposed to, pass, and they failed because two Democrats didn't vote for it. And they were all talking about, oh, we're gonna vote it in, we're gonna vote it in, and it was two of their own who fucked it up for them, bro.
yeah. That's the thing. Like that whole party is just they're eating their own now. Like now it's just like okay, well, yeah, this person's or this fucking girl's a Democrat, but they're not doing shit how we would like them to do. So now it's just like I don't know, like I think something crazy is going to happen when that time comes, when the election comes up. Um, and if again, like if it's not Trump, it'll be someone like him, and it's just going to be crazy. That's what I
It's
feel.
gonna it's gonna be Kanye. It's gonna be Kanye,
It's going
bro.
to be Kanye. Free Yeezys for everyone.
Free gifts for everybody, bro. Yo, but it'll be funny. You know what I mean? Is there a chance that Kanye might win?
I mean, probably. Who knows, man? If Trump got in there, like I think anything's possible. I mean, that's the thing. Like people say, like, oh, he was rich, Like I'm like, I'm not talking about the fact that he was a rich guy. What I'm saying is like someone of that character and that's that outrageous and controversial. Like if someone like that can get in, like why can't Kanye get in?
Word.
Why can't fucking a fucking circus clown get in?
Anybody can make it in as long as they say the right shit to people. And enough people vote for him. And just think about the disrespectful shit he did during the whole campaign. And these are the same people that are currently backing him up right now.
Yeah, one of the most gangster things I think he did was when he was running for president at the beginning, and they were having the Republican debate.
Yeah.
When he was talking, he pointed to every single one of those guys that he was going against, and like one by one, he was just like, "I gave you money, I gave you money, I gave you money, and I gave you money, and I gave you money," and I was just like, "Yo, this." He just
Let them
fucking
know.
destroyed them. Yeah, he let them know. He was just like, "Yo, when I wasn't running, like I was fucking making you guys like I was helping you guys keep your fucking job by giving you money."
Yo, what more do you want, bro? Like at the end of the day, I think, what is the word that he couldn't articulate himself?
Yeah, I think I don't think he could like yeah, like maybe like the average person thinks like that, like
Mm-hmm.
fuck this country. You know what I mean? But like as the president, you shouldn't talk like that. You shouldn't be saying, you know what, Russia, we're gonna fuck you up next time you do some shit like that. You gotta You got to be more professional about it. But at the same time, I guess that's why a lot of people like him, because he was saying what everyone was thinking. That's what a lot of people would say. Like, well, he's just saying what everyone else is thinking. He just
And
happens
Russia
to be the
didn't dare.
president.
And Russia didn't dare touch Ukraine because they were
Yeah, none
trying
of that
to.
shit was happening. Like what's happening right now, like none of that shit was happening.
He put that shit quick. Remember that because they were talking about how Russia was trying to invade Ukraine, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's like shit just went away. It's like what happened, and that was during his administration too. That they were gonna invade, and all of a sudden that shit went away, bro. It's like this
And
motherfucker
he
just gave
brought
up.
he brought peace to the Middle East, which is fucking crazy. He brought peace to the Middle East. He had all those countries that were against Israel. Like he got them to all like come together and like make an agreement, like a peace agreement. He was like the first guy to go to North Korea. Like all this crazy shit, like where like people that hate him, I was just like, look, like I get it why you don't like him, but who else the fuck went to North Korea and shook hands with the dictator over there and
And then
kept peace?
and then technically have jokes talk about he wrote me the most beautiful letter. Can you tell he loves me? How you think his people would feel if they found out that he said he loves an American? You got me?
Yeah, for sure, man.
That's
Hands
disrespectful
down,
as
though, one
fuck.
thing is that he was the funniest president. I'll give him that.
Fucking timing.
He-
His timing was immaculate. He was like a fucking stand-up comedian.
exactly, he was like the first comedian president.
He had punchlines. He had crowd control. He had motherfuckers attack the Capitol. And then he's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yes, you fucking did, bro. Everybody heard the same fucking speech. Everybody heard those words when they went, and you say you was gonna be in the front line. You were in the front line technically
he,
because you was down
he was wilding,
in the
man.
panic room.
He's like, yo, get me out. This
He's like,
joke
yo,
has gone
leave.
too far.
Where he's like, leave that other asshole out there, and I'm gonna tell him to attack him. What's his name? Pence.
Pence,
Like, go get that
like, yo, Pence,
motherfucker.
you got this, right?
Get that motherfucker. Leave me out of this. But yeah, man. But with that said, man, thank you for coming on, bro. It was a blast. This was what it technically had to be part of last time. A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah.
However, the last time it was some wild shit. It was
Yeah,
wild.
it was some sad shit.
It was real sad shit, but this time we livened up. And yeah, if you happen to listen to 87, 88, you're going to be laughing. You're going to be like, oh, I needed this one. Like, yeah, you need this one. Like, you needed something to like take all those thoughts away for a minute because they're going to be in your subconscious because it fucks with my head now when I hear certain names or certain countries because I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, let everybody know where to catch you. Oh, if you have anything coming up, or you're also the documentary I have as well.
Oh, for sure. The documentary on the cartel that I worked on is called Cartelville USA. And if anyone wants to watch it, it's carteldoc.com. You can find me on Instagram at Duvalinpapi2.0. Thank you again, brother, for having me on. It was a blast talking to you. Just talking shit this time. And hope to do it again soon.
Not yet, for sure. Maybe, we get a beer and then we all could pop on Brujo's podcast.
Oh, that'd be badass. I'm down.
Yeah, bro. But thank you again, bro. I appreciate your time. And yeah, man, it was a damn blast. We have to do it again.
For sure. Awesome.
To
Take
the
it easy,
next
man.
one, guys.
Peace.
Cheers.